Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing freezer food prep with me. So I've got 4 weeks left until this baby is coming, possibly less. So I decided it was about time that I prep some healthy-ish recipes so that we can be prepared when this baby comes and have some options to just stick in the microwave, stick in the oven or the blender and have a meal ready to go. So even if you're not pregnant or having a baby anytime soon, you can definitely get some inspiration, tips and tricks on how to freeze your meals and products that I like to use when doing this, and also just some ideas for food prep. So let's get going. All right guys, so the first thing we're gonna do is start on the lasagna. This is a really yummy recipe. It's the one I make every time. It's actually my mother-in-law's. First step is browning your ground beef. So I'm just browning 2 pounds of ground beef for the lasagna. And this is my favorite thing to use. I don't even know what it's called or where I got it, but it just is so helpful to really grind up your meat and so you don't get the huge chunks. I just think that's so gross. So I love this thing. And while my meat is browning, I'm gonna throw in the ingredients for my chicken taco soup. I don't really follow recipes. I just kind of like to play around with things and figure out what works for me. So I'm throwing in about 4 to 5 chicken breasts, a big can of diced tomatoes, and then a couple cans of green chilies, which adds so much flavor. Honestly, any type of Mexican soup you're gonna make, add green chilies. They taste so good. And then some black beans and some pinto beans. I'm just gonna rinse those off really well. Dump them in. And then I always add a whole bunch of taco seasoning. So I think I added like 3 tablespoons here, but you can just play around with it. And then some garlic, salt, and onion powder. Actually, I think that was minced onions. And this chicken, better than bouillon, is so yummy. It's just like chicken broth, and just added a couple tablespoons and then about a cup of water. And you can use that to replace chicken broth in anything pretty much. So I'm gonna set this on high for about 4.5 hours, and then we'll come back and dish that up after we're done with everything else. So we've got our chicken tortilla soup cooking in the back here, and then I've also got some other chicken cooking in this crock pot behind me. I threw that in this morning just to prep for our chicken enchiladas. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and make the lasagna and show you guys how I do that. So this recipe is definitely not like super healthy, but I do feel like it's a slightly healthier spin on regular lasagna, just because you use a whole bunch of cottage cheese and you actually use that instead of ricotta. So it definitely adds a lot more protein than regular lasagna, and so I can feel a little better about it. But my whole family loves this. It's just a crowd pleaser and it freezes really well. So you use about 48 ounces of cottage cheese in this mixture. And then like 1/3 cup of Parmesan. And you also add an egg into this mixture, and I'll show you like where we put this mix. But basically it's in place of the normal ricotta cheese that you would normally see in a lasagna. So this is our KitchenAid, and we have like a cheese grinder, cheese shredder attachment, and it's the best thing ever. I love it. We'll never shred cheese manually again. I like to use Monterey Jack cheese instead of the traditional mozzarella. It just has so much more flavor And honestly, whenever we would use mozzarella, like for pizza or lasagna, we always substitute it for Monterey Jack, and it tastes so much better. I'm gonna go ahead and spray these pans, and I'll link these pans below. I just got them from Amazon. They're just great disposable 8x8s. So I'm gonna layer the noodles first, and you don't have to cook them beforehand, which is great. This recipe is really actually very fast. I added 2 jars of spaghetti sauce for these 2 pounds of ground beef, and that is just the first step after you lay your noodles, is you add this mixture on top. And on the left, you can see I'm actually making a pan for my family tonight for dinner, so I've got that set aside as well. And then we're gonna add the cottage cheese, Parmesan cheese, egg mixture on top of the meat and sauce. And I normally do a little more of this, but I'm trying to make it stretch. And it ended up tasting totally yummy as it is, so. And then we're gonna add Monterey Jack cheese. And then basically you repeat that whole thing one more time. So noodles, meat and pasta sauce mixture, cottage cheese mixture, Monterey Jack cheese, and then repeat. And I ended up not having quite as much meat and sauce mixture as I really needed. So totally fine. I just grabbed one more thing of sauce and added it to kind of spread it in between all the pans. And honestly, I'm not a big meat person, so I don't mind having it a lot less meaty. But you could always cook up more ground beef if you really wanted to. Okay, now I'm just covering up these 3 pans with the disposable lids that came with them. And then I am going to label all of the lids so I know what it is and when I made it and then how to cook it. So I'm just adding lasagna 11/20 for November 2020, and then bake at 350 for 45 minutes. And that just makes it so easy to grab it out of the freezer, throw it in, and you don't have to worry about it. Okay guys, so my lasagnas are done. I have one cooking in the oven for our family tonight, and then I was able to get 3 8x8 pans made for after this baby comes. So I would say that was a success, and I actually did not double that recipe. It goes a long way. So I did have to improvise and use a little bit of extra pasta sauce because I ran out, but honestly, it's totally fine. It will taste great. I've got some chicken that needs to be shredded for our enchiladas, and then also for enchiladas, I need to shred some more cheese. Okay, you guys, if you don't know this trick already, you need to learn it now. Shred your chicken in your KitchenAid. It is the best hack ever. I learned it from Jordan Page over at Fun Cheaper Free. Go check her out. She's amazing. But I just have used this every single time since I've learned about it, and it's so much faster than shredding it by hand. So I didn't have any sour cream for my chicken enchiladas, so I just improvised, and I mixed together some cream cheese and a little bit of milk. I didn't even measure it, but I think it's going to work just great. I'm adding in the chicken, the cream cheese mixture, some green chilies, a little bit of enchilada sauce, black beans, And then I'm also going to add in some of this cheddar cheese, which I also shredded with my KitchenAid. So I'm just kind of like going for it. I looked at a recipe for some inspiration, but I definitely didn't follow it. And you really can't go too wrong with chicken enchilada filling. But we will find out when we eat it in a couple of months. As you can see, I'm adding some more taco seasoning to this recipe and then just some salt and pepper, keeping it pretty simple. And now I'm going to just fill up a whole bunch of corn tortillas with this mixture and roll them up and stick them in the same 8x8 pans that I use for my lasagnas. I'm going to stick a little bit of enchilada sauce over the top of a couple of these and then leave a couple of them plain and just see what we like best when we eat them. And then, of course, I'm going to cover everything in cheddar cheese because it's Mexican food and that's what you do. I'm labeling these as well. Chicken enchiladas, 1120, bake at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. I'm super bummed. The footage for making my little smoothie cups is totally gone. I have no idea what happened. So I'm just going to explain it to you guys because it's really simple, but I took an assortment of fresh fruit and frozen fruit. Frozen makes it cheaper for sure. So I've got blueberries, strawberries, and bananas, and I cut those up, and then I also have frozen mangoes and berries as well. And then I just kind of threw everything in haphazardly and filled these cups to the top. So I can add in milk or juice or whatever I want to, protein powder for a super yummy fresh smoothie. Now I'm dishing my chicken taco soup up, and this is so yummy, you guys. You have to just add some avocado and cottage cheese on top, and it is like the best thing ever. And it's pretty healthy. It's basically just filled with protein and veggies. So I'm using the same cups that I use for my smoothie bowls, and I'll link those below. Again, I got them from Amazon, and they're really great because they've got like a double layer in the lid, and so it keeps everything inside while you freeze them. But you can actually remove the layer, and then there's two little holes on the top of the lid to like vent and to heat in the microwave. So they're really, really convenient. For just a few hours of food prep, I think I did pretty good, you guys. I'm so excited to have all of these meals to throw in the freezer. And then when we just are in a pinch and need something quick with this new baby, that we can just have dinner or breakfast or lunch really for quite a while with all of these. So I hope you guys got some inspiration and had fun watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite freezer food prep meals are. And I am gonna go clean my kitchen because it is a complete disaster. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!